Hey guys, this is CBET. Thanks for checking out the video, or thanks for coming back if you've looked at some of my videos before. Um, so I wanted to talk about the protection bard, and this is what I run a lot. I run a lot of melee bard, and you'll see in the video that I'll be starting here in just a second on the background, which will be the Tower of Carphin raid that we ran for level grinds this weekend with the Chaos and Lace Guild. If you're on the Vira server in Ashes of Creation and you're looking for a guild, check us out, Chaos and Lace Cartel. At the end of the video, I will link to Jamie Chaos's YouTube. He is our guild leader, and he will have all the information on guild access in that. So we will look forward to hearing from you. If you're looking for a guild, we'd love to have you. So, all right, so let's get this video going here, and let's talk about the protection bard. So just a little fresh recap. These three abilities here, the flourish, the resonant weapon, and the quick wit, you'll get automatically when you level up. This is level 1, level 3, and level 5 right now. I don't know if that will change. The build assumes that you're going to be level 15 plus at this point. If you're looking for a starter video, check out one of my other videos. I did one on mana battery bard and one on heal support bard. Those are a little bit more incremental. This is just going to start talking about while we're picking these things, because they're already all unlocked, and how they're going together. So let's get into the build. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to pick a weapon. Doesn't matter what you pick. It's just kind of flavor at this moment. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to pick things that are going to support our team and help keep our tank alive and our frontline DPS alive. So in this video, you'll notice that I'm running Pensive Melody for mana. You'll find yourself running that a lot. That's one of the things that you really need. Once you get a good healer, you don't really need the Cheerful Melody. So at this point, I'm going to be running Pensive Melody. I can switch over to Menacing Melody, which does help the survivability of our group, because we're going to be burning them down faster. So if we're not having mana problems, I will switch over to Menacing Melody. Then we're going to start building off of Quick Wit. So Quick Wit is going to demoralize the target. It's going to do a little bit of damage, and it's going to demoralize the target. From there, we are going to pick Maddening Dance. If you'll notice that what Demoralize does is it does a 10% decrease of damage output by the mob that's targeted. So your tank is going to be taking 10% less damage. Then we're going to add on Maddening Dance. Maddening Dance is going to humiliate those targets. Those targets will then be doing 30% less damage, and these are for 8 seconds. So if you run Quick Wit, Maddening Dance, and then Clever Retort, which we'll unlock here in just a second, which also does a demoralize, you can kind of weave all of these in together to where you'll at least have 10% all the time, and then 30% most of the time, as long as you're weaving in these three abilities. So from there, we're going to take Shielding Dance. What I do with Shielding Dance is, yes, it does healing. Yes, it does a shield. The reason I pick it is when your tank starts hollering out, hey, I need big heals, it gives him a temporary damage shield, and it helps heal. I also use this when a cleric does a revive somebody. As soon as they pop up, I'll pop this. It gives the newly revived person a damage shield plus some healing coming in, so it helps them out there. Then we're going to go up here again, and we're going to take Clever Retort. It's a interrupt. So if you've got some of these mobs, they'll do like a lifesteal. You want to use your Clever Retort and your Mesmerizing Dance to interrupt those. Mesmerizing Dance is really good, especially here in just a second of the video. You'll see we're fighting some mobs that do lifesteals, and we'll group up several of them, and there'll be like 2 or 3 of them doing lifesteal at the same time. I can pop demoralizing or mesmerizing dance, and it interrupts all of them. So we've got Clever Retort, Maddening Dance, both doing demoralized. Then we'll be using Mesmerizing Dance to do staggered, stunned, or incapacitated. Where they're gonna pick Get Off the Stage. The reason that we pick Get Off the Stage is, yes, it does put debuffs on the target, which are going to add us some DPS later. But what we use them mainly for, if you watch the video, there'll be 1 or 2 mobs that's away from the group. We'll just walk back and we'll just yeet them right into the rest of the group so we can AoE them down. I do use Discordance as a damage. Discordance plays off of the staggered, which Mesmerizing Dance will turn that into a stun. So you've got Quick Wit, Maddening Dance, and Clever Retort, all adding demoralized or decreased damage. You've got Discordance adding a stagger, and Mesmerizing Dance adding stunned. So stagger reduces evasion for 25%. It's a status effect. It's a debuff. Debuffs are going to help us here in just a second. With the debuffs, we're going to take Dark Lullaby. So Dark Lullaby does 50% spirit damage, and it adds a additional 50% for each debuff they have. So that staggered, that incapacitated, all of those are going to be debuffs, and they're going to increase our DPS of Dark Lullaby. It does add a stunned, so it's going to be a CC if they're incapacitated, which is going to come from our Mesmerizing Dance. So we are going to pick Dark Lullaby, and we are going to pick Nimble Dance, mainly because Nimble Dance is going to give us a 1 cleanse. In Tower of Carphin, you have the mobs that spit the poison at you, and this will remove that poison so that you can remove heal. You can start gaining heals. That poison stops you from healing unless you get it off of you, and this helps the healers cleanse those things. We're going to pick Marionette because if we need to sleep a target, we can sleep a target. You can actually just go in, put this on a target, and they'll sit there and dance in a corner until somebody hits them. So we're going to pick Hymn of the Mind simply because we're going to try to keep our tank and our healer up to date on mana. And we are going to pick Crescendo. So Crescendo is going to increase the power of our pensive melodies. I'm going to come in and I am going to be running pensive melody. So I'm going to pick Dissonance and Anthem of Alacrity. The reason that I'm going to do that is when I use Anthem of Alacrity, it is going to put, if you put here, it says it puts a discordant note if you play Anthem while you're playing the melody. So what discordant note is going to do is it's going to add the ability to do another stagger. So we're going to be doing another debuff on the target, which is going to increase our Dark Lullaby. We are not going to pick a Dance Master. I just don't think it's needed at this point. But we are going to pick a Destiny or Wonder. And it's just going to depend on the group makeup. If we have a lot of magic damage dealers, then I will go with Wonder. If we have a lot of physical damage dealers, then I will go with Destiny. From there, the The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to pick our Sagas. We're really not going to use our Sagas unless we absolutely have to. And then I am going to come in and pick Triumph. The only reason that I'm doing this is so that I can eventually get Sagas Volume 2, and we can do Heroes of Ages. The big thing about Hero of Ages is if somebody gets, this is an alpha, if somebody gets stuck in a hole and they can't get out, I can use Hero of Ages to get them out. That's why I'm picking that. So that got us up to 19. If our tank is really struggling, I'll pick up Gambit and I'll do an emergency heal switch. Typically, we don't need to do that, but it's there if I need it. So again, we're talking about mana restore. We're mana restoring. We're keeping our mana up. We're keeping our tank in mana so he can pop his abilities, shields, and things of that nature. We're using Quick Wit to demoralize into humiliation to decrease the amount of damage that the mobs are taking. It's adding a debuff, get off the stage, to reposition and add a debuff and stagger. We're going to do Shielding Dance for a panic heal, Discordance for a stagger, and then Nimble Dance for the clean. And I also didn't say Nimble actually gives a evasion buff. Mesmerizing Dance and Clever Retort are our interrupts. Both give us debuffs on the target, which all of those debuffs are going to be working with Dark Lullaby. Anthem of Alacrity is going to give us the Dissonant Note, which is another debuff for that. And then on into the Sagas. If this video was helpful to you, be sure and let me know. If I missed something or just didn't make sense or just totally way off base, be sure and let me know in the comments. Again, check us out over at the Chaos and Lace Cartel in Discord. If you have any questions for me, please pop them in those comments. I sure do appreciate you liking and following if it helped you. And I sure do appreciate it. Thank you.